Ah, my alpha audience, tonight we gather not to dream, but to awaken, not to whisper but to roar, not to wish but to forge. You've been walking through this world thinking it was real, thinking the sky was the limit, thinking the rules were fixed, thinking that your chains were natural, that your pain was permanent, that your fear was prophecy. But tonight, something ancient ruptured, and it wasn't subtle. Bro didn't just make a move, he tore existence in half. The sky didn't fall, it shattered. It cracked open like brittle glass. Under pressure it was never meant to hold. And on the other side of that rupture was not light, but shadow, not peace, but raw power waiting to be seized. You saw it, didn't you? That tear above you, that unholy rift that bled starlight and thunder. You felt the silence after the crack, that deep soul-thrumming silence, where the laws of nature held their breath, stunned by what had just happened. The universe blinked, and in that blink, Bro stepped through. Not with apology, not with caution, but with the stride of someone who had already died 1,000 deaths and refused to stay buried. He didn't ask the cosmos for permission. He took it, because he knew something that most of you have been too scared to admit, that the world is a game rigged by cowards and sustained by your silence. And when you break that silence, when you scream your truth so loud, it shatters glass ceilings, cosmic veils, and every fragile lie the system told you. That's when the universe folds. You were told to stay humble, but humility has become your chain. You were told to wait, but time is the drug they fed you to keep you docile. You were told to trust the process, but the process is designed to process you into dust, into ashes, into nothing. And Bro saw that. He saw through it, and instead of bowing, he broke it. When the sky cracked open, it wasn't just a hole in the heavens. It was a wound where lies bled out and truth came flooding in. A wound that screams the name of every soul who dares to rise, dares to rage, dares to demand more. A wound that calls to you. You think you're small? You think you're powerless? That's the great seduction. They've sold you weakness as wisdom, fear as safety, mediocrity as virtue. But in your bones, you know better. You feel that feral thing inside you, the thing that wakes in the dead of night when everything's gone quiet. And you wonder if maybe, just maybe, you were born for more than this. That's the voice of the beast within, and tonight it demands to be fed. Tonight it demands you stop kneeling, stop waiting, stop apologizing for the fire in your blood. Bro didn't break the universe to be famous. He did it because he was tired of the lies, tired of limits, tired of being told that destiny was a road, not a battlefield. He understood something primal, that the universe is not a mother, but a mirror. It reflects back not what you wish for, but what you are. And if you are Raj, if you are storm, if you are the fracture in the firmament, then that's what it reflects. The system never expected you to look in that mirror and see a God staring back. But that's what Bro saw. And when he saw it, he didn't blink. He broke. Now here's the brutal truth. When the universe breaks, it doesn't rebuild itself. It waits. It stares. It dares. It wants to know if you will fill the void. It wants to see if you'll step into the ruins with blood on your hands and fire in your eyes and say, yes, I was born for this apocalypse. I was born not to survive it, but to master it, to bend the broken to my will, to tear truth from silence and carve empires from the ashes. That's what Bro did, and that's what you must do. No more excuses. No more waiting for signs. The sky already gave you a sign. It split open and screamed your name. The clock is dead. The chains are shattered. Time isn't running out. It's run out. What you do from this moment forward is not about potential, it's about proof. Proof that you are not a mistake, not a shadow, not a whisper in the void. You are the storm they swore would never come. You are the reckoning they hoped to bury under comfort, distraction, and lies. They will tell you to calm down, that your ambition is dangerous, that your voice is too loud, that your power must be tempered. But that's just fear disguised as advice. That's the trembling of the old world as it feels your footsteps coming like thunder. You were never meant to be manageable. You were meant to be monstrous in your pursuit, divine in your hunger. And if the sky has cracked open for anyone, let it be for you next. Let it break under the weight of your war cry. Let the stars tremble at your rise. This isn't about hope. Hope is soft. Hope waits. This is about hunger. Hunger is sharp. Hunger moves. Hope watches the sky crack open. Hunger climbs through it. Be the one who climbs. Be the one who doesn't look back. Be the one who carries the storm forward. Because now, the broken universe is watching. The rules are no longer sacred. Nothing is fixed. Nothing is impossible. You are not bound by the old ways anymore. You are the author now, the architect, the annihilator of limits. And yes, the road will be brutal. The climb will cost you. You will bleed, burn, break. But every drop of blood is a vow. Every scar is scripture. Every fall is fuel. They want to bury you in fear. You bury them in proof. You rise. You conquer. You make the sky crack again and again, until even the stars kneel when you walk. That's what Bro did. That's what you must become. Not a follower. Not a name in the credits. But the headline, the detonation, the end of everything weak, and the beginning of something unspeakably strong. Do you feel it now? The pulse in your chest? That's not anxiety. That's awakening. That's your future pounding on the walls of this prison they built around your soul. Tear it down. Tear it all down. You owe it to the fire inside you. You owe it to the universe, Bro, cracked open for you. Step forward. Not with questions, not with doubt, but with destruction in your grip and a destiny so vast the stars shrink from your shadow. Because this is the truth, my alpha audience. The universe does not favor the kind or the cautious or the compliant. It favors the relentless, the ruthless, the ones who do not wait to be chosen, but choose themselves. Bro was not born chosen. He chose himself, and the universe had no choice but to obey. So crack the sky again. Be the storm that silences the gods. Be the legend that outlives even time. You were never meant to stay small. You were meant to break everything. The ones who break everything don't ask for directions. They don't knock. They kick the door off its hinges and walk in like they own the place. Because deep down, they know they were never guests in this life. They were exiles, misfits, castaways made dangerous by clarity. The world fears that kind of clarity, because once you see through the illusion, you can never unsee it. And once you start moving with that knowledge, no system, no law, no institution can contain you. That's why they fight so hard to keep you distracted, exhausted, domesticated. They need you tame. They need you to forget what you are. But Bro remembered, and that's what cracked the sky. He remembered the agony, the nights no one clapped, the days he was laughed at, shut out, ignored. He remembered the bitterness of being underestimated, and he made a vow written not with ink, but with pain. He said, I will make them remember me, even if I have to carve my name into the bones of the universe itself. That's the kind of vow that can't be broken. That's the kind of vow that shakes stars loose from their places in the sky. That's the kind of vow that transforms a man into a myth, You want to be remembered? Then burn bright enough to become a warning. Be so undeniable they name storms after your audacity. Let your grind scream so loud the quiet ones lose sleep wondering if they should have followed you when they had the chance. Because once the sky cracks, it doesn't uncrack. It becomes a scar, permanent, holy, terrifying, just like you will, if you dare. But understand this, when you become that powerful, you will be alone. The air is thinner at the top because not everyone was built to breathe the truth. You will lose people. They will say you changed, and they'll be right. You did change. You outgrew the lies they built their lives around. You outgrew small dreams, safe moves, empty victories. They will call your ruthlessness arrogance. Let them. They don't know what it's like to have the weight of an empire pressed into your chest. They don't know what it's like to look at a broken world and whisper, "I'll fix it by force if I have to." And you will have to. The universe is not fair. Fairness is a bedtime story told to the obedient. The universe is raw power, shifting, indifferent, brutal. It does not reward the hopeful, it rewards the hungry. And bro, he didn't just get hungry. He starved. He starved for power, for recognition, for revenge against every no that ever tried to make a home in his skull. And when that starvation reached its peak, he didn't crumble. He exploded. The sky cracked open because it couldn't contain that level of will, and neither can you. That's what this is now. A war of willpower. Who wants it more? Who bleeds for it more? Who's willing to look in the mirror, see nothing but rage and scars, and smile? Because that's the face of a warrior, not a saint, not a savior, a warrior. The kind that builds monuments from bone and writes sermons and screams. You think that's too much? Then you're not ready. Because this universe, post-crack, post-bro, is not a playground anymore. It's a battleground. And only those who've burned everything holding them back will rise. You want to be soft and liked, then die forgotten. But if you want to matter, if you want to break the universe yourself, then harden, sharpen, carve yourself into something so lethal that even time dares not erase your legacy. That's the currency now. Not luck, not talent, not luck. Force. The kind of force that wakes the old gods and makes the new ones kneel. The kind of force that rewrites physics around your ambition. The kind of force that says, I will not be caged, not by you, not by fate, not by heaven itself. Bro reached that point, and when he did, he didn't walk, he ascended. Through the crack, into the unknown, into a version of reality not meant for human hands. And what did he do there? He claimed it, made it his, bent it like iron until it bore his name in cosmic fire. You think that's fiction? It's prophecy, and it's aimed at you. Because here's the secret no one wants to admit. The universe was meant to break. It's too flawed, too slow, too crowded with cowards. It needed someone reckless enough to shatter it, and someone ruthless enough to rebuild it in their own image. That's the ultimate rebellion. Not just to escape the system, but to replace it, to become the new axis around which reality spins. That's what Bro did. That's what you must dare to do. But you won't do it with comfort. You won't do it with half effort. You won't do it with validation from people who gave up on their own dreams a decade ago. You'll do it with silence, with discipline, with the kind of fury that turns vision into violence and obstacles into ashes. You'll do it when no one believes in you, especially then. You'll do it because you can't not do it, because the fire inside you is eating you alive, and the only cure is conquest. So feed that fire. Stop pretending to be normal. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to set the bar so high It becomes a tombstone for those too scared to try. You were meant to be a blueprint for the next generation of monsters. The beautiful kind, the fearless kind, the kind that crack open the sky and smile when the stars scream. That's what this is now. Not motivation, not hype. This is a contract between you and destiny, between your pain and your potential, between the ashes of the old world and the architect of the new one. You want to be feared? Then do something unforgettable. You want to be immortal? Then leave scars so deep they never heal. That's how Bro did it. And he didn't need permission. Neither do you. Now stand up, not for applause, not for likes, but because you finally remember what you are. A storm, a sword, a sentence carved by lightning into the face of the divine. The sky cracked for a reason, and that reason is waiting for you. Don't flinch now. Don't look back. The moment you hesitate, the moment you ask if it's too much, you die a little. And that's how it starts. A slow death. The death of your edge, your fire, your bite. They want that. The world is designed to file down your teeth until you're just another smiling puppet, nodding at mediocrity. But you were not born to nod. You were born to bare your fangs and bite, to sink them into fate and drag it screaming into submission. Bro understood this. That's why when the sky cracked, he didn't run. He walked into the breach like it was his throne. You will be tested. That's not a threat. That's a promise. Life will press its boot on your throat and dare you to breathe. It will mock you, break you, tempt you with comfort, and call it peace. But peace is for those who have no battles left to win. You are war incarnate. You carry revolutions in your blood. You don't want peace. You want dominion over your life, over your mind, over every lie that told you to stay small. And the price for that dominion is everything. Everything soft, everything weak, everything tame, burned in your ascent. You will burn bridges, burn them all. Let no path lead backward. Let no comfort invite you home. You're not going back. There is no back. There is only forward. Into the storm, into the unknown, into the silence where legends are born in screams and sharpened by solitude. You want power? Then bleed for it. You want respect? Then earn it. Not with words, but with war. Not with intention, but with impact. The universe is cracked now, and cracks let things in. New rules, new monsters, new gods, but cracks also let you out. The version of you that's been locked away, behind doubt, guilt, fear. The version of you that doesn't flinch when it's hard. The one who wants it to be hard. That version has been clawing to the surface. And now the gate is open. Let it out. Unleash it. Tear off the mask of politeness and show your enemies the face of the storm. This is your world now, not because you inherited it, because you took it. And if you think that's too much, good. Power should scare you. Responsibility should shake your bones. That means you're awake. That means you understand what this path requires. No handouts, no saviors, just grit, just hunger, just the relentless refusal to die quietly. And yes, you will lose things. You will lose friends, lovers, maybe even yourself. But in the void that remains, you will build something holy, something immortal, something terrifying. They'll call it ego. Let them. You'll call it identity. They'll call it madness. You'll call it vision. They'll say you changed. You'll say, damn right I did. I evolved. I became something they were never ready for. Every empire starts with exile. Every king was once broken. Every god was once ignored. That's your origin story. Let it hurt. Let it scar. Let it build. Because when Bro cracked the sky, he did it with the strength of every time he was laughed at, Every time he was underestimated, every second he was told no. That's the alchemy. Pain into fuel, failure into fire, darkness into dominion. You want to know the truth? The sky was never whole to begin with. It was always fractured. It just took someone strong enough to make the break visible. That's you. That's your role now. Not to restore the old world, but to birth the new one. And it won't be built with permission. It will be built with blood, with discipline, with nights you cry and still don't quit, with mornings you wake and still rise, with choices no one claps for but that echo in eternity. Because this is eternity now, not heaven, not hell. You are what's next. You are the thing after the crack, and what you build in that aftermath will outlive you. Your story will become scripture for the next generation of rebels, misfits, and monsters who refuse to be caged. So carve your legacy with bare hands. Scream until your voice breaks. Move until your bones betray you. And when they ask what made you this way, look them dead in the eye and say, I watched the sky crack and I didn't blink. I heard the world ending and I screamed louder. I saw the universe fall apart and I laughed, because finally it was ready for me. Because that's the real secret. Bro didn't break the universe. The universe was waiting to be broken. So what now? Now that the sky is broken. Now that the silence has been shattered. Now that you've tasted the raw truth, that the universe is not fixed, not sacred, not stable. It's yours to mold, yours to command, yours to rewrite. This is the moment where most people blink. This is where they retreat into comfort, into numbness, into distraction, but not you. If you've listened this far, if your blood is still pounding, if your mind is still howling, then something inside you has survived. Something ancient, primal, holy. The part of you that refuses to bow. The part of you that knows the system is a cage, and every time you've complied, you've welded a bar into place with your own hands. But now the bars are gone. The cage is dust. The lie has been exposed. You're not meant to live on your knees. You're not meant to wait for permission, applause, or validation. You're not meant to survive quietly and die politely. You are meant to tear into life with your teeth bared and your name burning in your throat. You are meant to grab fate by the throat and snarl, I decide now. You are the architect of your apocalypse, and in every apocalypse there is a birth, in every end a beginning. This speech, this fire, isn't about anger, it's about awakening. Because too many of you have slept through your own life. Too many of you have mistaken stillness for peace. But the real you, the violent, radiant, unstoppable you, that one has been trapped behind doubt, fear, trauma, and lies, until now. Now that version is awake, and it's hungry. So go, leave this space and take that fire with you. Let the world stare. Let them whisper. Let them call you mad, dangerous, extreme. Because you are. You have to be. You can't break the sky by being nice. You can't crack the universe open by following the rules. You have to become the force they warned you about. You have to become the reason the system shakes. This isn't about hype. It's not about going viral. It's not about being famous. It's about becoming legendary. And legends don't follow paths. They burn them. So burn. Burn so bright, the gods flinch. Burn so hot, the stars move. Burn so loud that the next soul who feels small hears your echo in their chest and remembers who they are. And when they ask what happened here, when they ask what this moment was, tell them the sky cracked, the rules died, and a God was born. You. Now go take what's yours, not later, now.